Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of
Legends Only.
My name is T. Kyle,
And I'm Bradley.
and this is your weekly pop culture podcast where we talk about
Legends Only. Spooky edition.
Is it really scary though?
It's all scary.
Scary.
Yeah.
Happy Halloween. Well, pre-Halloween if you're listening on Monday.
That's right. Happy holidays. It's not happy holidays, sorry.
Not
let me
yet.
reel it in.
It's time.
It's fully 80 degrees, so my brain is fried.
Yeah, my brain is like, what's happening today?
Yes.
We are sweating again.
We are sweating. We
I
are
thought
scary.
we'd made it through.
Nope. Well,
I
everybody.
had my fall candle and everything.
I know, burning candles and it's 80 degrees.
No, I should blow it out. Honestly, this was ambient.
Put on ambient music if you want ambience.
I have my pumpkins out. I have my fall. This is my dusk fall lighting.
It looks white.
No,
Oh, now it's changing to
behind
red.
You, it's like orange and purple and blue.
Okay. Yep. Oh, it's changing.
Yeah, it's fall dusk.
Okay, I see now.
Yeah.
It's like the leaves turning.
Oh, anyway.
This is an audio-visual experience.
Yeah.
I hope you're really immersed.
Anyway, it is the final week of October.
It's the final countdown.
Until the holiday season.
That's right.
But we do have an update from last week's episode.
We are unstanning. Again.
We are, but like not.
For the week. For a day. Well.
So I gotta be real with you guys. You look like f***ing clowns.
That is directed towards Pop Crave, Pop Tings, Pop Bass, Pop Things, Pop Betch, Pop This, Pop That,
Pop
on Twitter,
Puss.
Pop Puss. Every single at Pop
Mm-hmm.
that tweeted that Rihanna was coming back.
Yeah, the rats. The original rats are the Mirror, which that should have already told you everything. However, it did sound more believable by the time Entertainment Tonight also said sources, which that's not the Mirror. Entertainment Tonight has more oomph to it. But then it got to Billboard and
the clown in the mirror.
Got to Billboard and they said, "These reports are bogus," says a source who would know in Rihanna's camp.
I don't know anymore. What is real?
Nothing.
Someone just like tweeted to Dux Moy and was like, Rena's incoming, new single soon. And they published it.
This report of a nearly $40 million deal with Live Nation to do a stadium tour in 2024, 2025 with 2 new albums on the way is debunked.
Us showing up next year to the arena. And it's empty.
It's a football game. Yeah, well.
Oh my God, maybe we could see Travis and Taylor. Did you see that video of Taylor on TikTok? She's back in New York. And
Did I see? I have to report on her every fucking hour.
Oh.
I probably posted it. What is it?
It's the woman being like, oh, she's so cute. Look at her. She's so cute.
Of her just walking? Yeah.
Oh, look at her. She's cute.
No, people are losing their oh, she's such a small bean next to him. It's like, you are 40 with a job.
Oh, wow.
I'm
not
sorry.
there yet, and I am unemployed. I'm kidding.
No, it's really gotten out of hand. But yeah, she did end up showing up like a Hogwarts school attendee at Bradley Cooper's home with another flank of celebs this weekend. She had Ryan Reynolds, Blake Lively, Hugh Jackman, Sean Levy, just a gaggle. And who knows what the hell that's about. But there's rumors she's joining Deadpool.
Little Mix?
And Little Mix. No, she left Fifth Harmony, joined Little Mix. And Deadpool.
Oh.
You heard it here first.
I don't know what that is.
It's another. It's in the superhero oeuvre.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
love that.
Yeah, you'll come across it in some years.
Well, speaking of superheroes,
Yeah,
were they a fighter?
you know they're not.
Someone else is, though.
Somebody else is.
So Kelly Clarkson is back on our TV screens.
Thriving.
She's in New York.
Leather. Sleep.
Cunt.
I'm just saying, when the girls come to New York, they thrive.
Honestly, that is a conversation that we need to have.
I'm so sorry
in the
to
zone.
the West Coast girls. They come here, they get in the zone and out all night. I'm sorry. They love it. They thrive. Kelly is night and day different.
Oh my God, we need like a chemistry out.
Chemistry
All
NYC edition.
Oh my God, live at Splash defunct.
Live at Splash. The flower belted dresses are out.
Finally.
The leather Kavant is in.
Yes, finally.
This is where it needs to be. And this is what we've talked about.
You can tell she's got like a pep in her step too.
Totally.
She's like feeling herself.
She absolutely is. She had said that she was into moving to New York and she's happy about it.
Oh my God, she's going to go electronic next.
She's going to go electronic.
We're going to see her at the Brooklyn Mirage.
She's collabing with Dom Dalla just for you.
Yes, Queen of Pop.
Yeah, this was, she did some karaoke because the show is back in order. And we got some Fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Now, obviously, it would have been made better if Miss Xtina was there with her, and maybe they did a transition into Miss Independent.
It's just Xtina out singing her. Well,
out yelling.
Louder.
Out yelling. Let's be clear. It was a volume issue, that's all. Not technical.
I enjoy it.
Oh.
It would be very You Thought Wrong. It would be a screaming...
Oh my God, put that out there into the universe.
You Thought Wrong.
You
featuring
Thought Wrong
Xtina.
karaoke.
Yeah. Oh, I would live. Miss Tamira Gray, if you're out there,
bring it
swing
back.
by, do a You Thought Wrong.
Didn't that just celebrate 20 years?
Thankful? Yeah, 2003. Must have.
If anyone working on the Kelly Clarkson show is listening.
Yeah, if you had any sense at all, you would bring in Tamira Gray for a You Thought Wrong duet.
Yeah.
But that's not the only song she did. She did Fighter, and she also did Lucky Star by Madonna, which is also meaningful because I believe her audition for Idol was Express Yourself. It was a Madonna song. I'm almost 100% sure. I don't know, but she loves Madonna. And she also did that song on tour a lot. Which song did she? Was it Crazy for You? I don't know, but she's been covering Madonna for a long time. Clearly, this is an ode to the Celebration Tour. I'm sure she'll be attending.
This is a place for legends.
This is a legend on legend situation.
She's also going to be hosting the Christmas Rockefeller Center. Means so much to me. By the way, I'm just going to make it a point to include as many Britney references in this episode as we're
leading up to it. I get it. Yeah, she did Express Yourself. Madonna.
Reductive. No.
Sounded a bit like
she
Born
sang
This
it
Way.
And didn't copy it.
Yep.
No.
I believe she's somewhere living with deep regret.
Teasing. Yeah, we stand Kelly. And I've really been enjoying she's going back to Vegas too.
Oh, that's right. I think she
after very sternly being 10 dates only. I'm done with this.
Take that 10%. Yeah, I feel like she might have gooped the girls a little bit who were like, oh, I can only do this within this 10 date set. And she's like, surprise, I'm just going back. I wonder if people urgently were like, I must do this. And then they're like, oh,
yeah,
these dates actually would have been a lot easier for me. But yeah, she's going back by popular demand and doing, I guess, more chemistry live in Vegas. So now you got more chances to see her.
Oh my gosh, maybe she'll bring out Kylie or Xtina.
Oh my God. I feel like all the dates align.
Mm-hmm. They'll all be there.
No, that's too much to handle. Oh my God. You never know. There's legends popping up in all sorts of unexpected places, including QVC. Now, this news rattled me for multiple reasons. Number one, I did not know that QVC had a QVC Plus.
Oh, what?
She's joining all the streamer girls and eating them up.
Do they have all of Lisa Rinna's?
Oh, I bet on demand. Yeah.
Do they have Mariah's on demand?
I bet.
Or was that HSN?
That was HSN.
What's
However,
the
they're sisters. They're sister streamers. That's what I've learned.
That is honestly a genius idea, and I probably shouldn't have said it on here.
What, to have old replays of those?
Oh my God. I would literally watch all of Mariah's.
But the problem is the inventory isn't there, so they won't make money.
Yeah, but just put the textless version up.
Yeah, I guess so.
For my digital girls, you know what that means.
Yeah.
It means there's
without text. Yeah. I think I got that.
But it also means no graphics.
Yes. It is so good, like as is though.
Yeah.
Anyway, I didn't know QVC and HSN like are partnered. I don't think they're competition. I don't even understand anyway. Anyway, this is the second year of them doing original holiday programming, which is a gag. I didn't understand. What they do is they make holiday content that also features the QVC hosts and the products they sell. So it's like SpawnCon on top of SpawnCon inside a story.
I'm lost.
So like the hosts are actors in these things.
Okay.
And there's real products that you can buy after the movie airs featured in these movies.
Oh, okay. So they're like coming down their chimney.
Susie, put in the crock
Give me some
pot.
hot chocolate.
Yeah.
And then you can get the mug.
There's like a long 30-second glimpse of her holding the mug next to the crock pot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's like when RuPaul is like, have yourself a House of Love cocktail while you wind down.
Yeah.
In the
yes
Amazon Prime Video Illusions Lounge.
Yes.
Got it. Now available at It's Chocolate. Available now.
Well, there's a new holiday original in town called The Recipe Files, a baking holiday mystery.
Chigs.
Filled with cameos from QVC hosts and plenty of plugs for tie-in products and partner brands. Launching on November 24th, starring Ashley Simpson.
Queen of Pop.
Autobiography. This is, you could buy all the pieces of her from this.
Yeah, she can walk over to like her new record that she just got from Santa and be like, place it down.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
The movie features a bunch of QVC hosts as well as KitchenAid, David's Cookies, Temptations, and Rastelli's. And the plot is centered on Isabel, this is Ashley, a baker who finds herself seeking adventure in the cookie cutter town of Shady Oaks after having...
Cookie cutter town? Are they going to sell the cookie cutter too?
Probably. After having lost her job and fiance...
When her singing career. No. Sorry. I don't know.
When she suspects her recent thrift store find, a mysterious handwritten recipe book.
Unsold copy of Bionic. Sorry.
The book may hold clues to its former owner's death. She sets out to crack the case with the help of newfound friends, all amid a budding romance. Will she solve it in time for the holidays, or will her efforts be a recipe for disaster?
Oh, I see what they did there.
I see what they did there. I will be tuning in.
I would watch this.
Absolutely. I am ready for this. You know, through this job and just understanding the ways of internet, I have found that the Hallmark channel is huge, like has an audience and stands. And so I feel like this similarly, I think she probably is making coin actually from QVC.
Oh, I believe it.
Like, I think it's good. I think she's doing really well with this deal actually. Like, even though it's like LOL, it's like, oh, she probably made a good check for that.
Yeah. It's like family friendly content for
and
the
then
holidays.
She probably like makes more when they do the sales after and they're like, oh, buy Ashley's Crockpot. I don't know why I keep going to Crockpot. What else is she selling? Ashley's Delicious Cookies. LOVE cookies.
Maybe they'll find a vintage copy of that Jessica Simpson 7-Eleven EP.
Oh my God.
If you know,
yes.
You know.
Well, if this kitchen set makes you want to la la for 9 installments of $29.99.
That's a lot of money.
I know, they trick you because they're like, oh, easy installments. But it's like 15 installments
10
of $19.
payments of $69.99.
Yes. Well, if this bittersweet world cookie tastes good, it'll make you go out of your head. Ay. Anyway, I'm so glad that all of our girls are having films and premieres left and right.
Will there be a premiere for this?
I don't think so. This is a TV movie.
Oh.
Maybe.
Anytime I think of QVC, I think of that Vine of the hairdresser that falls. Do you guys know that one? Was like, oh, yes, girl. And just like, boom.
There's a new account actually that I've been watching that does recreations of viral HSN/QVC moments where the callers just get buck wild or the hosts do something embarrassing. It's been very entertaining. I have to find out. I'll post one of them.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Yeah.
That would be a fun job.
QVC.
Yeah.
I think so. I think you make a lot of money like selling that shit.
It's like Twitch streaming, basically. You just have to stand there and take calls.
Yeah.
Be like, hi, ladies.
Hey, Dorothy in Illinois.
How you doing there, girl?
I can't see the numbers on the screen.
Oh, don't worry, Dorothy. I'll read them to you. Oh, my God. Maybe I should do that.
Starts reading her credit card number over the...
I'm just going to put that in over here.
Susie? We're going to transfer you so you could give that information to somebody else, okay?
So I'm just like modeling a little caftan for Debbie.
We would thrive, I think.
Oh my, I would do it.
Absolutely.
I'm literally open to most things. Right now, I think I'd be a good QVC host. Yeah. A radio host. No, you have to be family friendly.
Right. Well, you do for QVC as well, but you could be cheeky. I feel like a lot of the hosts are like, they make like jokes that could be innuendo, I feel.
Right. Like, I'm coming down your chimney.
Exactly. Exactly.
Promo. Out next week.
Speaking of coming
family friendly
down chimneys and other orifices.
I love a blowjob.
It's XXXmas all over again.
Sometimes when I get really nervous, you feel it in your vagina.
Yeah.
Like,
Denise!
Yeah.
Well, Xtina's at it again. We've got a new ad. Play your way with the all-new Mood Maker Intimacy Oil before, during, and encore. Now available to shop at Playground, not sponsored. This video rattled me.
She's an actress.
She's an actress. She's an influencer. She's lighting her candle and oiling her knee. You never know where things are going to go with her. She squirts it into the hand, onto the knee, onto the leg. A lot of leg action, honestly. And squirts it at the mirror. Points it at the mirror. Anyway, this is, I guess... It would have been
funny if she like squirted it into the wine glass like while she was sitting there.
Intimacy oil for those who think young. I'm not sure what intimacy oil does.
Touch of my hand.
I guess it heats things up.
I am not really a fan of oils.
Just all oils.
I don't like
Olive,
things are slippery.
avocado, canceled. Canola.
Frogs.
Frogs?
Like anything that's slimy.
Oh, I think that's different than a cooking oil.
Well, no, I mean like the textures.
Okay.
Unlike slippery things.
But you can handle like oils for like essential oils for
yeah, because that goes in the
aromas.
Yeah.
But you don't want them on you.
Yeah, no.
You've also never had a massage.
I've had very few.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you are oil averse.
Yeah.
Okay.
That reminds me of when it still rings like I still remember it like it was yesterday. That guy at the one we went to remember in Vegas we went and got like a spa day or something. Didn't we do a spa day in Vegas?
As you might recall, I don't remember any of our trips. So
I swear we did.
It's very likely I had a full massage and don't remember. No. Did we?
Yeah. The second time for Remixed Reimagined, didn't we all go and do like a little package?
Oh, wait. Maybe this is ringing a bell.
Because the guy at the front desk afterwards was like, oh, you look so much. And I was like, and he was trying to find like the right word. And I was like,
too.
I was like less of a bitch. And he was like, well, you look more relaxed. And I was like, yeah.
You look friendlier.
Because they did the one that like, you know, loosens up like
I do remember
your,
this story.
Your head and neck.
Okay.
Because everything's like always very tense up
I just
here.
don't know if I did the massage or if I just steamed or something, even though I fucking hate the steam. I don't know what I did.
We did something.
Something about the altitude there. My memory goes.
Altitude?
Yeah, because it's like the desert.
Oh. We should try to get sponsored by Playground.
We absolutely should. I think we've done the most talking about it in a non-sponsored way that any other person or brand ever has. So Xtina, Team X, if you're listening, I will try this intimacy oil.
I'll challenge myself.
I'll put it on my knee, see what that does. Hey, no judgment. I don't know what she's doing with her knees, but it seems like a party.
Work.
Yeah.
Also, the background music in this ad is a bop.
It is.
So, Xtina, we need you to sing over that.
Yeah, just sing over the instrumental. It could be about intimacy oil if you want.
Well, Xtina isn't the only one influencing this week.
No, we kind of are just a QVC podcast if you really think about it, because we only talk about pop star items.
Well, that's all they're doing.
Us.
So
yeah.
Oh, I didn't even tell you guys. Speaking of, I probably would have never revealed this if I didn't have a podcast. I almost bought something from JLo Beauty.
Wow.
I know. Can you believe it?
I actually can't. What do they even have?
I was convinced by one of the face mask things.
Oh.
And then it was like JLo Beauty. And I was like, oh, should I do it?
Was it just like a standard face mask? Was it a thing you apply, or was it a paper mask thing, like a sheet mask?
A sheet mask.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
What was it about that was different?
I was just really enveloped in the ad.
Oh.
Like I was like, oh wow, the music really pulled me in.
Oh.
I was like, I'm invested.
Okay.
And then it was like JLo. And I'm like, well, yeah, because I like those under eye ones.
Oh, the ones
that it was like that, but like bigger. And I was like, I would wear that. Try it.
Well, maybe if they're soothing. And
we should do a video pod that's all pop star products.
We should. I think you should get the JLo Beauty mask. Does it also like remove things? Like maybe it removes as much as the producers remove her vocals from her chorus. So maybe it's really strong.
Really just lifts the under eye and the high notes.
No trace.
I can't. If a brand DM'd me and said, I will give you this product if you do a video podcast, you will all see a video podcast next week.
All of a sudden you'll find a fucking Christmas sweater like Freddy Krueger.
I will make it happen. I'm going to put the challenge out there.
Challenge.
Yeah, we're going to get some like rare beauty, like powder, like a translucent
Halsey
powder.
will be the first one. It'll definitely be Halsey.
What does she sell?
There's a Halsey brand, some beauty thing.
Oh.
Yeah. All the girls truly have one. They're just less, some are less advertised than others, but they're out there.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored.
Well, Beyonce has joined the influencer market.
She has. She is loving this role play as an influencer.
Mm-hmm.
I thoroughly enjoyed this video.
Same. I don't feel like we've heard her talk
No, because all the comments were, she's
years.
Talking to us.
Like, when is the last time Beyonce talked?
Just like interludes during the show saying thank you for coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a birthday.
Everybody's got a birthday. I mean, I guess we'll hear her talk in December when we see the movie. Presumably, she'll talk backstage.
Yeah.
We'll see. But this time, she finally got her bottle of Ce Soir. Was it Ce Soir?
No.
What? Ce Soir?
Isn't that a lyric from Lady Marmalade?
Yeah, it's French. Well, it's a play. C'est Noir.
Yeah, it's say, like Beyonce.
Beyonce.
Oh, it's say? Say noir. Does noir mean night?
Ce soir means tonight in French.
Oh my God, look at that. I'm smarter than I thought.
I mean, yes, this ce noir means this black or this blackness. So ce soir is tonight.
Chic.
So it's a play on that? Question mark. And say, yes, like Beyonce. There's a double word play.
Wow.
At that. But the bottle, notably, is
she took that bottle.
Monolithic. I wanted something that was monolithic yet intimate. That line stuck with me. And she's not wrong. It is a monolithic holder coupled with, then you take the bottle out and it's more intimate with a hole so you can see how much perfume you have left.
Oh my God.
Which is helpful. You need to see inside. Because when you just run out one day, that's the worst.
Although a lot of those are kind of a scam.
Bottles?
Yeah.
Right, because it's so thick that there's like actually not that much liquid.
Yep.
Well.
Like that chalice that they have at Mom's for the beer.
Uh-huh.
Scam.
You heard it here first.
The bottom of the glass is literally just like a chunk of glass. So like, but when you fill it up, it looks like this big.
Yeah.
Look at me calling them out.
Calling them out. See how objective we are?
Yeah.
Even our standard eateries, we and still are critical.
They put weights in lipstick components.
Oh, yes.
So that it feels heavier.
Right.
So that it appears to be richer.
Yes. And definitely
it works.
Skincare products, the actual skincare capsule inside is like so tiny sometimes.
Yep.
The more you know. Anyway, I'm sure this is a hefty bottle of hundreds of milliliters of Senua. I'm excited to smell it, give it a scent, give it a little spray test.
It will look so cool on a desk.
It
like
looks
that mirror.
monolithic.
Yeah.
Yes, it looks cool.
Expensive.
It does look expensive. And I guess it's been in development for years. So we're here now. And that's what we're going to have, along with the AMC movie. Honestly, it could be worse. There was an album relatively recently. There was a tour, movie, perfume. I would say this is a fair feeding for the girls.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
It's a good serving.
Some are keeping us starving more than others. But Beyonce, I think this is a good serving. So everybody go get it. Tell us what you think, what it smells like. And
notes of what?
Notes of what?
Cozy notes of.
Well, did you also see that there's the premiere coming for this?
Yeah.
Not the perfume, the AMC film.
London and LA, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we'll have to see. But they did say that there was a dress code for London was like something opulence, and LA was like cozy opulence. I don't know, but everyone's going to mess this up.
Yeah.
Unless everybody shows up with vertical beds behind them, they're going to fuck this up.
Ooh, that would be funny.
We're going to see that for Halloween. We're going to see some cozy beds for Halloween. I
God, I hope we see the robots with the fans.
The gay robots.
Yeah.
I would love to see that. We'll have to see. And smell Senua.
And now that she is no longer gracing the stage every week, unfortunately, we can't talk about her in this next segment.
No, that's true. We had to leave some space for the other girls.
Yeah.
I think it's time for a little segment that we like to call
High Fashion. So editorial.
Guys, this is awesome.
This is a billboard.
This is super high fashion.
Oh my God, that's so high fashion.
So high fashion.
High fashion.
Paper's back, and who better to bring it back with than an actual icon? And so we have Cher on the cover of Paper, giving us, if you know the reference, SM Entertainment, K-pop. This is giving Kwangya, which is the digital, what do you call it? The metaverse.
Oh.
For the K-pop girlies.
Sheriverse.
The Sheriverse. It's definitely giving metaverse.
Yeah.
Kwangya. It's giving, I don't know what else it's giving. Intergalactic.
Expensive.
RuPaul's Drag Race promo in space.
Yes.
High art, low art. And love this for her. Love all the Shermis promo happening right now.
All the Shermis promos, so good.
The interviews are all unhinged and wonderful. She gives no fucks, and it's so refreshing.
None.
Mm-hmm. Legends.
There's also another futuristic shoot that I wanted to shout out.
Oh,
this
that's
week
right. Yeah.
In Cyber magazine, Julia Fox again.
Yeah.
Just crushing it this promo cycle.
Yeah, it's kind of giving Fame Monster a little bit. Just giving kind of weird, bad romance vibes in one of the shots. And then the other is sort of like sculpted sci-fi oddity. Looking very cool. I saw a video of her singing.
Yeah, apparently she has a song coming out.
I'm very excited about this because we said that if she ever dropped a song, it would be over for the girls.
Yeah.
So
there seems to be something.
There does seem to be something. I'm ready. Unclear. It was like at a premiere or something, or a book, maybe a book reading or something.
And she had like that red hair, which was also a serve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's hit the promo stroll pretty hard for the book.
Oh my God, what do we think it's called?
Muse, maybe?
Ooh, I did it myself.
Muse, I did it myself. Incoming. You heard it here first.
That would actually be a Cavant song called I Did It Myself. And it's about how you don't need a band.
Yeah, that would be her whole mantra.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is the perfect time for you to step up as the producer.
I'll do it myself.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that.
Yeah.
There's a concept there.
And since, I mean, we'll mention the actual book. Clearly, we're leading up to it, but I don't think we have a better section to discuss it than in High Fashion, Miss Addison Rae. I mean, this is a throwback for the girls who know.
Is it high fashion?
It's the highest fashion you can be. She's holding Britney's book in a very staged paparazzi shoot.
Yeah.
Yes, she is throwing it back to the Heidi Montag days. All she needed was an actual wooden chair that she placed in the middle of the sidewalk to sit and pensively read it in. We talked about in the live chat. Shout out to everybody in the live chat. This is somebody who has studied pop culture and definitely called the paparazzi on herself.
Yeah. It's brilliant.
It is. Like different angles of like reading the book to really make sure the cover's in the shot.
Did you see the video?
Yes.
The video is also like so 2000s, like paparazzi.
She is a girl that gets what she's doing.
What I also love about this is I felt like there was a moment in time where the public backlash of making fun of her was so strong that she kind of hid for a while.
Yeah, she did.
And now, after AR literally ate everyone up, and she did this video, I'm like, okay, she's clearly getting to a point where she's having fun.
Yeah.
And it makes me happy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I 100% agree. She definitely hid away after Obsessed and the backlash to the song in her debut. But now I think she is stepping out, literally. And then she's got...
So I'll take a second. And then she snapped.
We've got the 1-2 punch of this and Thanksgiving, her turkey thriller horror movie coming with Eli Roth. It's not looking good for her, I do have to say.
Yeah.
Let's warn everyone in advance. She is not in a lot of the trailer. And her pictures on the teaser posters are just her scene that we see in the trailer. So I'm very concerned that we're not getting a lot of her for a horrifying reason. But
To Die For.
To Die For may be coming true very soon.
It's fine. We stand.
We do. Again, and I said this in the chat too, this is somebody who's taking notes because you've got the Paris Hilton House of Wax death. You've got the Heidi Montag stage shoots. She knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
It's come a long way from TikTok, but...
She really has. Remember that one video where she like made the fans wait while she filmed the TikTok for the autograph?
That was like one of her first TikTok, her own TikTok viral moments.
Yeah.
When somebody was like, look at this fucking influencer. But she wasn't mean. She was just
no,
like,
not at all.
Sure, 1 second. Let me do this shitty dance. There's a video of her in the streets and a fan comes up and she's like, yeah, 1 sec. And doing like one of those early TikTok dances. Well, speaking of, I think it's time for a segment that we like to call
TikTok Talk. Oh my God, you guys. Boots on the ground here in New York City, the city of dreams.
Yes.
In New York, I met World of T-shirts the other day, leaving physical therapy. I'm walking home through Midtown.
Yes.
I turn the corner right there.
Why don't you explain to everybody who has no idea who that is?
So World of T-shirts, his name is Josh, and you may have seen one of his videos for, he roams New York. Like, honestly, it's kind of aspirational, like how much he's seen of all 5 boroughs. And he went viral for singing in New York, like in Times Square, and just has no shame, like films everywhere, posts everywhere, whatnot. So it goes viral. And yeah, it's a whole TikTok thing. If you get it, you get it.
I admit I was never on, I don't think he's ever come up on my page.
Really?
So I had no idea who he was. But I did see that video.
See, that's so interesting because my brother and his fiance know who he is, and they don't live here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like they know, like, what does BANNED mean, and like all the quotes.
Oh, I know none of them.
That's what I like about TikTok, though. It's like it's very compartmentalized. You either like someone is a legend to you, or you have no idea who they are, never seen them before.
Yeah, I have various women who are legends to me this week because I've joined the latest MLM trend of the fizzy jewelry reveals.
The what?
You know how they, you don't. There's this company that sells rings that are like encrusted in like baking powder or whatever, and you put it in water and it fizzes. And then it reveals the ring that you purchased. Like you purchase a mystery ring, they dunk it in, and they show you which ring you got.
So it's a bath bomb with a ring in it?
It's a bath bomb with a ring in it. And I am obsessed. I've watched for hours at this point. they talk about their like mentors or their up staff or something. It's all a pyramid scheme.
You love an MLM.
I love
TikTok.
an MLM. Unfortunately,
like the people that like stir the spoons and like give you a little crystal rock.
I'm fascinated. The whole time I'm watching, I'm thinking about their life at home. I'm just fascinated by their being. I come up with stories in my head about like who they are and what led them to do this for 8 hours a night and how much they must be making from this. And yeah, I will definitely, if not join, develop a pyramid scheme at some point in my life. And you'll know. We'll have sort of shirts and you'll do some sort of reveal of like, maybe it'll be inside a mochi and then inside is like a shark tooth. And I think that'll be my pyramid scheme.
Wow.
Sure.
You can do that thing where you get the shark tooth kits.
Yes. Where
you sift through.
Yeah. I've just been fascinated by this. There's this little twink that I like to watch. He lives in Louisiana. He's 22. I'm fascinated by him. He only wears Eras Tour tees. He's got a fiance. It's like there's lore. And I'm deeply... And whenever the fiance even walks into the room, his whole demeanor changes. He's like, what do you want? Well, he's like up. He's taking out the ring and he's like, you're disturbing my life. Invested. This is when everyone's like, oh, what's the new hot pops and what are you listening to? And it's like, I'm spending 16 hours watching a twink.
Yeah, you're like, I just bought crystals from an MLM scheme on TikTok.
This is what I'm doing when I go silent or absent. I don't know if I need to see. I mean, I'm already seeing a professional about it, but maybe it's healthy. But yeah.
I mean, it's not very different from like watching someone stream on Twitch or like.
It's exactly the same. Yeah.
Yeah. Something to watch. It's like watching TV.
Yeah, exactly. And they like take it and they like tap it with this wand and they go, ooh, diamond juju. Let's hope you get like because you can get like rarer rings, of course, or whatever. And they're like sparkling diamond juju. And then they'll go plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Let's hope a beautiful ring this is.
Not the rhyming, not the poetry. The poetry.
No, you don't even know how invested I am. Next week, if you see me with a giant bucket of water in front of me on live and TikTok, don't say anything. Just
my God.
Buy a ring.
We can just like hide hit clips in them.
Oh my God.
Oh, You've Got to Die For by Addison Rae. Someone's going to go do that now.
Oh, absolutely.
It's going to be like MP3s in a bath bomb.
That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah. I mean, hey. Pop, pop, pop. What's it going to be? Pop, pop, pop. That's wild. You really do love an MLM on TikTok.
I do love an MLM.
And I love people who are like very...
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to think of... It's complimentary, but like I don't want people to take it the wrong way. I describe my interests as like the island of misfit toys.
Okay.
People who are different and unique and like unafraid to be different and unique. That is my vibe on TikTok.
And
that's a compliment. I think it's a compliment.
I like a middle-aged woman who has Jesus in her bio who is stirring a cauldron of rings that probably cost $4.99 to make.
Gays and hoards
absolutely hates gays and is hoarding these tacky rings. I love it. I love all of it. I love it when they pretend the ring looks good when it doesn't. I just die for it.
That's so weird.
I know.
It's fine though.
It's probably like watching QVC in a way too.
Yeah,
very
actually.
That. Maybe really do need to transition to that, you know?
Just know what the original
QVC listener.
Thinking about it, the original MLM scheme was those fucking carnival things as a kid, like skee ball, where you get the tickets, and it was just a ring that was like 1 cent.
Yeah.
But you had to spend like $10 to get it.
Totally.
And now we're just doing the same thing, but on TikTok.
It
with
works.
Roses.
It does work.
Instead of quarters.
Yeah, they use they like take the little boxes of rings.
Is this her?
No, I mean, this is just one of many. They recruit people and that's why it's a pyramid scheme or an MLM or whatever. And then you just plop, plop, fizz, fizz into the water. And then there's just magically a floater or a sinker.
And she's using a tin like that's from...
No, yeah. I will say that there's a whole spectrum of like...
Are there symbols like embroidered into the side of the thing?
Yes. The company that does it has like stamped their symbol into the baking soda or whatever.
Legends only, I guess.
And this is like the whole pile that somebody opened.
Of
like,
orders?
Yep.
Okay, I can't hate it then.
Bomb party. Fizzy bomb party is what they're called.
Oh.
Anyway, if you catch me doing that next week, don't be surprised. That's all I'm saying.
Slay.
I don't know where we went. I'm so sorry whenever I speak.
Anyway, to make a long fucking story short, I took a picture with the World of T-shirts, and this is what happened. So I went up and I said, Josh, could I get a picture? Yeah. And so I go take the selfie, and I go to turn, and I'm like, oh, I just really love your walks away.
Legend.
Just walked away.
That's the kind of behavior I support.
Mhm. That was the interaction. And then I texted my brother and I was like, you're not going to fucking believe what just happened. And like, that is like, to him, that's like, I just met Taylor Swift. It's like a Swiftie.
It is funny how we have these niches.
Yeah. And like, same when I met Roz.
Yeah.
Like, Roz is to me like what Taylor Swift is to a Swiftie.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But more talented. And so speaking of niches, actually, we were starting to get into like niche costumes. And Gen Z has decided to, now influencers are in on being costumes.
Yeah.
You sent me one.
Oh.
That I...
And you did it at my birthday dinner.
This one, we'll post it.
It's James Charles, Tana Mojo, Trisha, and Jeffree Star. And it's so funny how like spot on the identities are. Like the way that the James Charles makeup is done is so specific.
Yeah.
This is their Joanne hats, basically. It's like the Jeffree Star tracksuit.
Yeah.
Trisha, like the lips and the hair and the pink.
Mm-hmm.
Tana with the gloves. Like, oh God. I love Tana Mojo, by the way.
Oh.
Really? Do you know who she is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think she's so entertaining.
She's definitely made a name for herself.
Oh, wow. Brad hates Tana Mojo.
I don't hate her.
I need a single from her.
Watched her on podcast interviews. I don't know that much about her. I know that she's gone viral for being involved in drama like a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But her story times from back in the day were like
Bleach and
tier.
Tone.
Yes, Bleach and Tone.
Bleach and Tone.
Bleach and Tone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I know.
And her stalker story times.
Oh.
It's a saga.
Oh.
It's actually not like, it's scary actually, but
yeah.
Anyway. I've also been seeing a lot of SpongeBob costumes on my FYP.
Oh, there's a lot of the best one. Did you see the whale?
Pearl. Yeah.
Yeah. The Pearl one was really good. The girl just walking aimlessly because she can't see. That's good. I'm sure we'll see a lot of Ariana and SpongeBob's this year. I feel it in my soul.
Do you think?
I think so. At least SpongeBob, of course. A lot. I'm already seeing a lot of Barbie and Ken. And then I definitely think we're going to get a lot of Britney. The book was timed well because if you didn't have an idea, maybe that it being in the headlines might have inspired, including Miss Paris Hilton.
Oh, ate this up.
She gives Toxic. And honestly, like
it's identical.
I looked at it and I'm just like, well, given that she's actually in the inner circle.
I'm like, did she get the costume?
That's what I was thinking. Like, it's really good. I didn't go look at the original, but did she? If not, it's maybe the closest I've ever seen.
Yeah, well, when you've got her bank account,
that's true. If
easy.
not, they definitely like made the replica or like hit up Joseph Kahn and got the costume designer info or whatever.
Because she's way taller than Britney, so they'd have to
it couldn't be the same.
Yeah,
it looks the most spot on I've ever seen one look.
Yeah.
You
saw one on your way over here today.
I did. I didn't want to expose because that's a child. But I saw peeking out from the corner as I turned to go to your apartment to record none other than Chucky wreaking havoc on your street. And I said, this is a little too close to home, literally.
What's he doing out here? We have a podcast
a podcast to record. Yeah. Also spot on, like the actual outfit.
Yeah.
It was really good and very cute.
Well, speaking of Chucky, everybody, guess what I did last night? I might have watched a movie.
I cannot believe this. You watched Child's Play?
Maybe so.
This is actually earth-shattering. As you know, your list is long and unmoving for the most part. But you've actually...
We moved it.
I cannot believe that.
I have so many thoughts.
Okay, well, we'll have to save that. We'll have to after show that.
Yeah, we're going to have a spooky after show this week.
Spooky ooky.
Which, speaking of, just want to take a moment again to shout out all of our supporters over on patreon.com/legends.
Spooky.
Thank you all for your continued support. We just had our 28th Icon Tier live chat this past Thursday.
And it was supersized.
It was like 3 hours and something.
Yeah.
So I had to do some like trimming of the pauses to tighten her up.
Yeah.
But
it was too big.
It's still 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Yeah, it was a long one. Thank you for everyone who joined. That was a meaty live chat.
Ooh, so meaty. You know that from the soup?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, iconic.
Yeah,
the soup is like what shaped who I am.
Good to know.
Yeah. Do you see that now?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to all our icons. We talked a lot about the Britney book.
I know. We talked probably the first hour and a half, if not 2 hours, about the book, and then we devolved into horror movies,
fights about Christina Aguilera,
everything in between
at
that point. So big shout out to everyone who joined us. And it also helped us think about, informed a lot of the things that everyone else was thinking about the book. And as we worked out our thoughts about the book live.
Yeah,
so that was
we're all
cool.
processing.
We were processing.
On the live chat.
Yeah.
But we also do an after show every single week.
We sure do.
After every show. So we'll have a little spooky one this week.
Yeah.
But before then, shall we get into some new bops of the week, shall we?
A few.
Quality over quantity.
I don't know where this is going.
Because this song that I would like to shout out is a fucking
Bop. Bop, 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 bop.
Slay!
This song was #1 for 50 fucking weeks. You're gonna say the fucking words if you know the fucking song.
Slay!
BB Rexa is back with a man. What's his name again?
Nathan
Daw. Heart Still Beating. Bop.
Breakup anthem.
Breakup trance techno anthem.
Uh-huh.
Some have been saying this is her padam.
Are you the sum?
No,
okay.
But I agree.
Okay.
Because I hope I don't get
because it's about a heart beat.
Well, there is a heartbeat in the song.
Right.
You can hear the ba-boom.
Uh-huh.
And that was a heartbeat, everybody. She's a folly.
Padam.
Yeah. You can remix. I should probably not do this on the thing. I should just make it, but I don't have time. My other single's coming out. Where is it? I hear it and I know. Padam.
Ooh.
Padam.
Yep.
Padam. I hear it and I know.
Yep.
Padam.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah. Different.
Keys.
The songs are different
Yeah.
energies.
They are.
Break up, hook up, but I see what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can combine the two.
You can.
It's a very gay experience.
That's a very gay experience because that happens in the same night. So. Well, you said quality over quantity, but with BB, she gives us both. It's
that is true.
A lot of content, and it's always quality. So we are blessed.
Justice for Call on Me.
Yes,
I was really thinking about that this week.
Yeah,
and Sacrifice, but obviously,
you're always thinking about
how many
Sacrifice.
Times can
you can lead the gays to Sacrifice, but they aren't always going to stream it.
Oh,
fact. Yeah,
but we try.
We do.
So yeah, also I would like to give a shout out to, why did this autocorrect to Shallow?
I thought we were having a Star is Born moment.
I'm not off the deep end.
No Allie Main?
Although Deep End is a bop by John Summit. Shalou is back with his second album called In Touch. If you're looking for something that is just optimistic, good vibe, housey with a beat, highly recommend. Very different from his first album. And he talked about how he wanted to just have fun and not take music so seriously. And you can hear it in this album. So I stan. I think he's very inspiring. He also complimented me when I did his remix contest. So
unrelated.
Yeah. But
No relation to praising the work.
No.
Yes.
But
love that.
Yeah.
Bops. I also, before we get into this one, I want to shout out 2 quick anniversaries that happened this week. Shout out, while everyone was talking about a certain album over the weekend, it should have been this one, of course, which is the Saturdays Chasing Lights debut album, 2008, 15 years ago. Really feeling the age at this point. The girls shot out like a cannon with Up, banger, Work, banger, This Is Love, banger, and it samples the same song that Heidi's Body Language does.
Have you listened to that album, by the way?
Heidi?
That song is from?
Oh, Yazoo.
Yazoo.
Mm-hmm. No, I haven't.
It's so good.
I have to check it out.
Yeah.
Looking it up. Okay. Well, so that's just a little shout out. That's my UK half minute.
Saturday.
Yes,
I forgot that was on here.
Perfect. And then shout out to Madonna for Nothing Fails. The remixes are out now from the continued digitalization of her back catalog. One of my favorites. I feel a spiritual cousin, successor to Like Prayer from the American Life album. He did a little write-up about it. Guy Sigsworth co-wrote it, of Imogen Heap fame, among many others. And it's just a fave. So shout out to Nothing Fails and all the remixes. And there's like Nobody Knows Me remix from Above and Beyond on there. There's a really, it's
Above
a good
and Beyond's Madonna remixes are so good.
Peter Rauhofer, and there's a bunch. So
they need to go back to remixing like the pop girls.
They do. Well, Trance is in.
Like imagine Above and Beyond with BB Rexa. I don't think they've worked together, have they?
That would be delightful. No, I don't think so. That would be amazing.
Ooh.
Yeah. While I was streaming the Saturdays Chasing Lights, other people were streaming 1989 Taylor's version, out now. You might have not heard about it because it's kind of a low, under the radar release, but it's here. It is here. 2014 originally, so almost a decade ago. We were New York girls, just like Taylor, the native New Yorker that she is.
Wow!
Welcome to New York.
Yeah, we need a native New Yorker Wendy's version.
We certainly do. Yeah, there was a lot of throwback footage.
Thank you for watching. I honestly feel like I can monologue that whole thing too.
I mean, one day you have to do that as a Halloween
and this
costume.
is for New York. Young and pretty. Anyway.
With the giant lips.
Yeah. Iconic.
So the album that cursed us with Shake It Off is here, but also blessed us with Style and Out of the Woods.
And Clean.
And
New Romantics.
And New Romantics. More blessings than curses. Is here with new production, remastered, re-recorded, reimagined, without Max Martin and Shellback, but with Jack Antonoff. She's here. What do you think?
Well,
Mr. Producer Girl
immediately pressed play on Clean.
Of course.
Obviously. And it is so
clean,
fucking good. I think it's better than the original.
I think so too.
It's so well. Imogen produced this one.
Yeah, I think on both, but probably had a larger hand in this one, I would imagine. But yeah, it just sounds crisper. When the vocals, I think, are more to the forefront.
Yeah, the vocals are more to the forefront. The new Imogen vocals feel a little fuller.
Yeah.
It's just so good.
Yeah, for the most part, I think it's a rich audio experience all over again. And I don't pick out too many differences, but I don't have that trained Swiftie ear necessarily. However, there is one misstep in my opinion, and that is Miss Style. It's giving Spotify karaoke sessions audio a little bit Kids Bop.
It was called Style, and I don't know what happened there. I should put that back on the rack. I was trying to figure out like what it was about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there is a lack of layering.
Yes. I think there's an oomph.
Yeah, the OG one has like there's a subtle reverb underneath the vocal.
She's the producer.
That has like there's an effect there.
Well, Max just knows how to produce for pop, top 40 pop, and Shellback in a way that literally pops to the ear. There's a reason he makes ear candy pop. And so, yeah, It's hard to replicate.
And the impacts and like the whoosh and all that, they're not as full.
Whoosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They turn down the reverb and it's very crisp.
Yeah. I mean, it is, getting picky with these things at a certain level, but that one was the one that I was actually like noticeably like,
Yeah.
But other ones I think improved.
The new Romantics.
Yeah.
Love.
Yeah. So, and then we've got the vault tracks, including Slut, which turned out to be not so slutty.
Oh.
She's a chiller girl than I think the girls wanted.
I listened to these once and I was like, I don't care.
Right.
Sorry. I don't.
Well, there she goes.
Like when
confirmed
Clean
hates
is there,
Taylor Swift.
Am I going to spend an hour listening to Clean on repeat, or am I going to listen to a song I don't know? I'm going to listen to Clean on repeat.
Well, there you go.
So there's only 24 hours in a day. Sorry.
I think the clearest standout is Say Don't Go, because Say. And Is It Over Now also, I liked that one, which is about Harry Styles. So
it's also what a lot of people are saying about Taylor. This year. I'm kidding.
Oh my God.
Is this the final thing?
Oh no. Reputation and debut still incoming.
Oh no, I mean for the year. Can we breathe?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You never know.
That's true. I'm she's going to do a Christmas Tree Farm Taylor's version.
Yeah. Well, you never know, really. But maybe
she should do a Christmas album. Oh, I mean, no, stream coming down your chimney. I'm just kidding.
She's got enough on her plate. We've got plenty of Taylor content, I think.
Yeah.
Everybody's very well fed who likes to eat that food.
Oh my God, know what she should cover? And I'm only saying this because I love this song, Colby Calais Mistletoe. Taylor's version.
She could.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm almost 100% certain at some point in her career a Christmas album will come. That seems inevitable.
An Imogen produced Taylor Swift Christmas album, #1 on the charts, right there.
That would be good. Or just Imogen.
That too.
Maybe just an Imogen Heap album. Concept there. Taylor Swift rises up for the Super Bowl. Imogen Heap rises up. Taylor descends. Imogen performs Goodnight and Go. There's my Super Bowl concept.
The early Imogen stuff needs another revisiting.
It sure does.
I want to have another remix happen from an old Imogen song.
Yeah.
That didn't get as much love as yeah.
Hide and Seek, right? That's the big one, right?
I'm going to have to look that one up.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of the holiday season, everybody, my new single comes out at midnight on Thursday. So Friday at 12 a.m.
November the 3rd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to push back a week because I didn't want to outsell Taylor.
Yeah, that was kind of you, actually.
I figured I would give her a moment.
It is very generous of you.
Yeah. So you're welcome, Taylor.
Yeah.
But yeah, the pre-save is available. I want to say thank you because I have over 100 pre-saves and I'm fucking shook.
I love that.
Shook. And that's just on Spotify.
A lot of girls should be scared around here.
Oh my God, it's so cool. It's just silly and stupid and whatever. I'm excited.
Lady Gaga when she released Xmas Tree.
Bop.
It's her explaining to the producer.
Yeah, I
it's
used
just
that
silly
as info.
And stupid. Yeah.
Oh ho, Christmas.
Mm-hmm. She's coming.
She is. And also next week we will be off from the podcast because you
that's
are
right.
going to see Kylie.
I'm literally running away when you release your single. I'm crossing the country. I will have to hear it later than others, right? How does that work? Have I been on the West Coast when something dropped and I have to
you'll
wait?
You'll be 3 hours behind.
Oh my God, I'll have to wait for 3 hours. Well,
because remember when we were in Vegas when Do What You Want with Xtina?
Oh yeah. Oh, performing it in the hotel room.
Yeah.
Yes, I do remember that.
Mm-hmm. It's fine.
It is. I'll listen to it over there.
Yeah. Well, you've already heard it enough.
I'll play it in Vegas.
You've heard all the versions of it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Wow, I'll do promo in Vegas. That's street team.
Oh my God.
That's international.
Oh my God. If I had $1 million, you could do a promo campaign with all of the
We'll hang up some
cards.
signs on some slot machines.
Well, you know the cards in Vegas.
Yeah. Oh,
For the girls.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't know if they still do that. I feel like the first time I went to Vegas was like
2013.
No, I went before that.
Oh.
Because I saw the Britney breathing Slave for You wax figure in Vegas, but I can't think of a song that was out then.
Oh.
It was high school.
Oh.
But when you would walk on the streets, there'd be all the trading cards for, you could call a number, get a little girl for you if you wanted.
Yeah.
That is literally like I'm coming down your chimney promo.
That's so true.
Yeah.
You could make a really good ad.
Wait until you see what I'm fucking with for the music video.
My husband is dead. All I want is coming down my chimney.
Yeah.
Call here.
I'm making like a really ridiculous, like tacky karaoke music video edit.
Love that.
Yeah, remind me to show you before we wrap. But
Okay.
Anyway, I digress.
Yeah, so I will be over in Vegas. So, and the reason is because I'm going to be seeing
You're going to be seeing Kylie, but
Kylie opening night in
do
Voltaire.
not fret.
Yeah,
there will be a special episode in the holiday spirit for everyone over on Patreon.
That's right.
Well, now that we finally closed the chapter on the events of this week, I think it's time we open another book.
Oh, crack it open.
The Woman in Me.
The Woman in Me out now. You did the audiobook in the morning. I did the audiobook in the morning and got the book physical. It's got the little rose inside too. When you open, if you take the jacket off, it's got the rose emoji at the front of the book. Mm-hmm. Not the emoji, but like a rose.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It embossed in pink.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
That's expensive to emboss.
Yeah. So I've heard Michelle Williams and have the physical book. Now, we talked about it at length, certainly at length.
A lot.
During the live chat. But we'll cover our highlights, I guess, during this main episode as well. But if you want to go through the deep dive of it all, you can listen to the live chat if you're subscribed on Patreon. I think one of the big takeaways that we kind of settled in on about the book is that we felt like it was part of her story, but not the whole story.
Yeah.
But it was an important, obviously, overview of everything that happened. I think probably the biggest takeaways from a distance, it was very much childhood into how she got into the industry, into how everything both skyrocketed and then came tumbling, and the conservatorship. Very, very briefly, like post-conservatorship at the end there. And I do think it was sort of a mad dash to get to the conservatorship years, and for good reason, because that's a story she wanted to get out there. I think, yeah, there was a lot of information at once. We're still processing. For all the headlines that came out before the book came out, I still felt there was a lot in there that wasn't spoiled by the press.
Agreed.
I think the most obvious things were publicized ahead of the book by the outlets because people remember Britney and Justin. People remember the media battles with Christina. They remember certain parts of pop culture. So, of course, that's what the outlets are going to lead with. And also any mentions of Sam, any mentions of any celebrity. Like from a celebrity memoir standpoint, they grab the names that you know first, I think. Even though, like, obviously a big part of the story is the conservatorship, her father, Lou Taylor, which, as I said on the live, like, if you're Susie in the Midwest going by
Susie, the craziest thing about me is I never bought store-bought pesto.
Not that Susie.
Not that Susie.
If you're rolling by with your car down the supermarket and you're looking at the tabloids and stuff, Lou Taylor is not a name that's going to jump out at you like Britney and Justin. It's just not. So I think it's not surprising that that half of the book was much less, it didn't lead with that in the media. Like, of course not. I am sort of annoyed that the Justin of it all is huge takeaway from this book, because as much as it is very much important to the overall story, like, it's not what she's talking about towards the back half at all, which I feel like is not as much publicized in the media in telling her story. But
I also think the context of the Justin story is hugely important.
Yeah. Oh, totally. But I think if you just drill it down to little quotes, of course it doesn't, everyone wants the shady shady clapbacks. Like what are the shady things she said about Kevin and Justin and like
Right. Bless his heart.
Bless his heart. There are a few fun
so
digs in there for sure, but there needed to be greater context about how the length of their relationship and how close and what they had gone through together, and to really understand the full story, which is why I was annoyed when people are like, what are the highlights? I'm like, you need to read it to understand everything. Like, not just like, who does she drag?
It's not a book I feel like you can just open to a chapter and start in the middle of the book.
Right.
You need to read it through.
Yeah, I think one of the most illuminating things of the book actually is from the get-go, because it really tells you how chaotic reference her family was from the jump, and also how eerily prophetic her family was, going back to her grandfather and grandmother and the mental hospital of it all and the lithium. Like, there was a lot put in motion before her and in her family dynamics that was already a recipe for disaster. Hearing about her upbringing, the daiquiris at 13, smoking, sex, whatever, which, like, I'm not shaming or anything, but it's like these things add context to the greater story. Not even being a virgin by the time she debuted, which is like such a part of her narrative in the media when she debuted, as we talked about in the live chat, which is insane to think about now that we even talked about her virginity and to the amount that we did. She had to maintain a lie pretty much from the get-go, this like virginal pop princess thing. Talking about her virginity from the very beginning was entirely inappropriate, and something that as a society we have moved away from. We're still bad in other ways, but I do feel like that was exclusively of that era, was talking about promise rings, virginity, sex, in a way that was just so out of pocket and so inappropriate for the time, and in general. So I feel like it's another reminder. I mean, we hit on those topics in those documentaries, which also exposed a lot of the language used around her at the time and the inappropriateness that interviewers and headlines would have around her. In her own words, she talks about that as well. I think also like a big takeaway is, as a fan, I feel like we can identify parts in her career that we wish she would have gone in on more in the book, because we're being sailfish reference. I like, this is not the big important part of telling this overall story, but obviously I would have loved a whole chapter dedicated to I Run Away and Before the Goodbye, an original doll, and the list goes on and on. The circus tour, the ins and outs of it, the guy scaring her on stage. Femme Fatale and Britney Jean get pretty much overlooked intentionally in this book, but you know the biggest mysteries surround Britney Jean still to this day that we have a ton of questions about. There's just, from the artistry perspective, obviously I would have loved a lot more than what we got, and I do think it is a fairly short book, and I wouldn't have minded another 100 pages just to, you know, get some of that info, but that's like the Stan talking. So I realize that a lot of this book is therapeutic and trauma and wanting to express it finally. So no, maybe she's not thinking about original doll when she's relaying all this information about the hospitals and the court dates and things like that. Like, that's probably not top of mind. However, if the book needed to take longer in order to get like a more fleshed out story, I would have loved that too. I didn't love that the book was coming pretty much from day one of being freed from the conservatorship, because I was like, there's no possible way you can reflect on what just happened because it just happened. There's probably a lot of legal things that are still in play that she purposely can't talk about in the book and stuff. And so that's almost frustrating, because I feel like there's not enough time for an overview of what just happened yet. But then again, as a friend was pointing out, like, maybe part of this is to get this out quick to also let the public know about what happened to her. And if there's like litigation, she names names and numbers. She drops receipts in this book. And I think we were talking about how if you needed to pass that legally through those people, they would need to challenge it with their own numbers to prove they're wrong. And so that's kind of one way of getting them, is like, all right, well then.
It's letting them know there are receipts.
There are receipts
here.
Yeah. And she did talk about her receipt bowl at one point in the book too. She keeps receipts quite literally. But it was a difficult read. It was hard. It was traumatic, upsetting, heartbreaking, and painful to hear that she didn't like so many things or didn't feel in control at the time of so many things that we love. I, as a fan, can't help but be very sad to hear that she would rather break an arm or leg than continue the Onyx Hotel tour. At the time, we thought she was essentially dickmatized by Kevin Federline. She was doing Britney and Kevin Chaotic. She looked in that documentary like she was just fully over the moon with him and didn't want to care about her career. But it does sound like she was somewhat tortured by this tour, which is a shame to hear. Yeah, there's definitely like a section of her career many sections that I wish it were elaborated on. But again, that's sort of the Stan jumping out of wanting to hear more about. And also because we even did that whole podcast to defend the fact that she was more plugged in and in control and involved in the music making and all and the creative and all that stuff. So I wanted her to sort of own her contributions more in the book, to really be like, and I thought of this and I did this and I co-wrote this, because we argue that all the time. And to some degree that did happen. It's cool that she mentioned like the famous, changing the baby video was her idea. I guess adding Madonna. I don't think we knew that she added Madonna to Me Against the Music herself.
No, that was
new. And I don't think I knew she loved Blackout, but Blackout sounds like the one for her. I've always been a staunch In the Zone defender as like her taking the reins creatively. And I do think it's true to a degree, but Blackout really does seem like the one for her, it's not like I don't also love Blackout, but
I loved that she highlighted the facts, and I'm paraphrasing here because I didn't pull the exact quote, but she was saying like, I was supposedly having the worst time of my life, but I made the best work. Like she acknowledged the fact that like there was genius in that moment in time.
Totally. I think
which we had always said, like,
yeah,
this is brilliant. Like she's in control here. She's EPing this. No one's giving her enough credit.
Yeah.
This, I think, was a huge highlight to hear her be like, yeah, I fucking did that.
Yeah, for sure. I think one of the things that will stay with me on the lighter side is that she said Hot as Ice was her most spiritual session in the studio, as she performed it twice in front of 6 quiet men, which was just... I immediately went back to my Blackout demos and listened to that as she talked about singing maybe the highest she's ever. You couldn't have told me that Hot as Ice was her spiritual moment in the studio. That was shocking. But I mean, whenever it's like clearly a direct Britney quote, it's like, it's always something you're like, wait, what? It was that? It was like, oh.
Kind of like Private Show.
Yeah.
She's like really like going there.
Wailing.
So I bet she felt that was like,
well,
freeing
justice for the belted note and Where Are You Now album too. But there were so many interesting moments that I'm thinking of on the fly when she said she was inspired by Tainted Love as inspiring her delivery at the beginning of like how she formed her voice or what she was wanting to sing like. That was like, oh wow, looking up to Mariah, darling, and that picture that we have being more meaningful to her than the award that she won, which I think many people would also feel the same way.
Yeah.
Relatable queen. One of my favorite chapters as well is, of course, Madonna dropping by in her New York City apartment, peering over on the window and going, nice view. And then eventually doing a red string Kabbalah ceremony with her and in a way mothering, some mentoring there for a time, at least. That made me feel good that I think there are some maybe quieter moments with Madonna that we don't know about, that it wasn't just public facing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we knew anything about that story.
No.
So that's really cool.
My overall thoughts, now that I've had a week to process, I feel like the book should not have been marketed as a memoir necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it almost teed it up incorrectly for me as like a diehard fan. I feel like my Stan glasses, like thinking of the Great Mysterious Book and the way that this book rolled out, I went into this a little disappointed. I'm not going to lie.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like it wasn't like, as the Stan, it wasn't like empowering her discography and her artistry in the way that I thought it deserved. But then when I listened to the book, finished the book, to me, the book is its own chapter and a bigger story. It's like, this is the story of the conservatorship and getting out of it is honestly what this book to me was. But it needed to have her childhood story. Mm-hmm. It needed to have her early days in the industry and the way that she was treated from literally day one. It needed to have the context of Justin. It needed to have the context of how she was treated after the breakup and all the things that she went through and Blackout. It needed to have the context of all of those stories in her life to explain the conservatorship, what happened. And by the end of the book, I was like, oh, she is still healing.
Yeah.
And she talks about that. And so when I finished the audiobook, I was like, oh, this really wasn't necessarily a memoir. It was memoir-ish, but it was a story that she wanted to tell for right now. And I still think in 10 years from now or whenever, I don't know the numbers or whatever, there is a bigger picture that would be more triumphant and celebratory.
Yeah.
And I could see her having a chapter like Mariah had, where she really gets into like a song or a video or what this meant or what this symbolism was or what this was like on set or a book for like the stands. To me, this was like, if you were keeping up with Britney in the peripheral, which a lot of friends of mine were, this is going to paint a context for you that's going to help make things make sense, I think.
Agreed.
And I think that's who this book was for. It was like a general public, I need to tell my side of the story versus a in-depth memoir.
Right.
And so I really enjoyed it. I also thought it was a hard read. I think the saddest thing for me to hear her talk about was that like the only time she felt free was when she was singing.
Yeah.
Ugh, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah, the little glimpses into the ways that she tried to connect or get out of it in later years. Like, I don't know if we knew about the 2014 attempt. She said like she tried to ask to be out of it then or something. And then, and then.
Or there was like a rumor of it, but or like something in the blogs, but I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was talking about the hairdresser who kind of told her that her schedule was too much and then immediately got replaced. There was all these like little things that are so heartbreaking.
Kept Fee away from her,
telling her that they told Felicia, Britney doesn't want you around anymore, which is heartbreaking. Yeah, there's a lot of just torture, really, and mind games at play, which was the whole insidious part of this whole thing, is the lying and the close, attentive telling prospective boyfriends her sexual and medical history and making them do blood tests ahead of time and stuff. It just really dehumanizes her and humiliates her before date one. Just shocking things. I mean, we knew about when Iggy like spilled that they did a search of the home before the salad dinner, that nobody could have any drugs or anything or drinking. So we had gotten glimpses from the outside, especially in the recent 2 or 3 or 4 years. But yeah, to hear it all at once was really hard. I was shocked that she even name dropped some of the more recent boyfriends, and it didn't seem like she resented them much either. Like,
no.
Yeah.
Another takeaway for me on that subject was I was shocked at how much grace she gave people who wronged her.
Yeah.
Like, we've always kind of assumed that she was an optimist and resilient is like something we've always described her as.
Yeah.
And after reading her own words, that is confirmed. Like, despite how awful people treat her, she still does seem to have an optimistic silver lining of like, you did this horrible thing to me, but like, don't be mean to them, or like, I don't want to, she still always maintains that, which is remarkable that she can still have that light and positivity despite all of this.
It was interesting to hear her perspective on Kevin and when they divorced and how she didn't like that the public was making fun of him and mocking him, because at the end of the day, it's still her children's father. And that's very humiliating. Not that he deserves grace, but you have to remember that this is somebody who just went through a breakup and they don't want to be also embarrassed that they dated like an idiot. It was kind of just rubbing it in her face that he was a schmuck. And so it's like, when you hear it from her perspective, it's like, oh yeah, like to be cheering about it.
It changes like so much of the dialogue from back then.
Like
confetti. And it's like,
oh yeah. Ugh. Of course she doesn't. At the end of the day, those children are with him, and you don't want your kids to see negative headlines about your parents. Like, you want to keep it as normal for them as possible and in a very unnatural state. And of course you don't want to badmouth, no matter how much trash she was. So it just puts into perspective. And like you said, like, she's so overly kind and overly forgiving. And that is a recipe for disaster in this very cold-hearted industry that is so duplicitous and sick, and she's too sweet a soul to be in something like this. You've got a lot of people worming their way into her life. As she pointed out, every man who gets into her orbit cannot handle it, the fame, which I think is a really wise observation. At least she's aware of that like as soon as they get into this closed circle, they spiral out for one reason or another because they can't handle this fame, which a lot of celebrities say, a lot of powerful women say. And, you know, you've got like Sharon, Madonna, and similarly, it all doesn't work out. But I feel like she really gave us a lot more context about how hard she took the Justin breakup, which lasted for years, really, at least as much as she told us. To be like really thinking about that she was affected at the 2007 VMAs, thinking about having audience members shimmy their boobs on him while she was embarrassed backstage. It's like, oh yeah, like she was still having a lot of feelings then, obviously. And it's just a lot of context and realizing how hurt she was. And then because we didn't know about the abortion story and all of that, of course she needed a lot of time to heal that she didn't get. And that royally fucked her up, I'm sure.
Yeah, someone said in the live chat, they were like, if you think about it, she truly never took a break. Like even when they said, like, she said, I'm taking a break, she never really did.
No.
Which boiled up to the Onyx Hotel tour when she was like, she
break.
Literally manifested a break.
Yes.
Because she was like, I need to get off this train.
Yeah, completely. So
note on the 2007 VMAs though, that I was thinking while I was reading this book, because she was like, she talked about it and she's like, you know, performers have bad performances. And like,
yeah,
I think we need to reshape the word bad here.
Okay.
That is true. We all have like a quote unquote bad performance. Like even listening to this podcast, like there are some that are funnier than others. But I will just say, I don't remember anyone else's quote unquote bad performances. That performance was iconic. It is pop culture history. It's not quote unquote bad.
What I was going to say is it is quote unquote bad by Britney's standards because she set the bar so high. Every VMAs. And none of the girls now. No, I know it.
The stand is jumping out. Let me sit down.
What really happened is
8% of the VMA performances that happened, no one remembers.
Yeah.
And is talking about 10, 15, 20 years later. So
if we're being honest, she raised the bar every single time. So that is why that performance stands out, because the last time she did it, I believe, was 2003 with the Kiss. So at that point, you've brought the expectations to a fever pitch of like, okay, she's had a snake, she's stripped, she's kissed. What could she possibly do this time? And when it was just a performance with
a fucking iconic song,
with an iconic
one of the best songs of all time.
But there's no gag on this performance. Every performance had a gag. Maybe
it was a gag.
Well, yes, it was in the end. But like that is what set this up so much beyond just, yes, she felt unprepared for it and it wasn't her sharpest choreo, but like people were just set up for an impossible expectation at that point. So I think that is part of why it all crumbled, and people were actively rooting against her. It was a time of great backlash against her. I mean, since the Justin breakup, to be honest. And from the beginning too, like people hated, I remember the Spear Britney shirts at Hot Topic because people hated the bubblegum pop princess.
Mm-hmm. The Horror.
The Horror Entertainment Weekly cover.
Which is iconic. I have it in the Legends binder.
Same. But yeah, that's a great point to bring up.
Right. It's like Britney at quote unquote bad is still iconic.
I mean, I really do hope that this was a healing process for her and that she was at least able to get this version of the story out real fast, because I do think it can be fleshed out in a couple years. I think there are like literally court dates coming up in recent weeks so still about this situation, and it's like,
and the divorce.
And the divorce.
The book is like technically dated if you think about it.
The fact that the book was dated the second like it dropped because of the divorce was also upsetting, because the wedding
isn't in it.
The fact that like it kind of ends on like, well, I'll start a family with Sam. It's just, I would have liked a few more years of perspective, and most importantly for her to get out of the limelight to like fully dive in, because at the end of the day, like when we talk about her not being able to take a break, like at the end of the day, I do wish that she will take some time, not maybe in LA, but like
Out of Hollywood.
Out of Hollywood.
Out of the industry.
Out of the industry, and just actively doing like yoga and teaching the girls to dance. And
that moment.
Yeah. And just doing something low key and chill, because at the end of the day, this was also still a big spectacle. And I did worry about how this attention would affect her. I just think that, I would have loved perspective. Now, if this helps with her court proceedings, I don't know, to get the story out faster or to get those numbers out faster. That story is not over. There are still people who are accountable, who still need to be held accountable in court. So I don't know. I feel like this is a part.
Yeah, this book is a chapter in a bigger story.
Yeah, but incredibly proud of her for putting together the story to now in the way that she wanted to tell it. I do feel like it's sort of written as though her website, like stream of consciousness,
letters of truth
with like connective tissue to help the stories all sort of coalesce. But yeah, I definitely think the stans kind of knew more or less a lot of this, but not the specific details. Onyx Hotel.
The fact that she was the one that sabotaged the domination reveal was wild. I think that was the most shocking for me as like diehard stan.
That was shocking that she even mentioned it.
It changes the entire way that event was perceived.
Yeah. At the time, we were yelling at Larry for creating an event that would make her be socially anxious, which is to a degree true. But
yeah, it's true.
But at the same time, I love that it was an act of defiance of her purposely walking past the cameras. She didn't want to do that shit. And I do like that she acknowledged that she did not give it her all on stage, because I think, and she kind of said it, she owed it to the fans, to be honest, that like, no, I wasn't really flipping my hair or really trying, in parts because I was doing the bare minimum that I had to do. I didn't want to do this. Like,
that makes a lot of sense with especially the world tour.
Yes.
Because we talked about this.
She wanted to go to
Atlantic
vacation
City.
And instead they took away her, it was like
the entire summer.
Yes. She said, I was really looking forward to this. I don't want to do this. And they said, tough.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That changes like the entire, yeah, when we were in Atlantic City and she's like, wow, this reminds me of Louisiana. And we were like, oh, she's over it.
Pissed, yeah.
And now it all makes sense.
Yeah. I think a lot of fans had always knew it didn't feel good at times more than others. But one time that did start to feel good, as we haven't talked about yet, is Glory.
Oh.
And
this is makes me so happy.
I was also shocked. We had talked about this in the Britney pod, but I had friends who were in attendance who told us that she did mention the conservatorship in a Jonathan Ross interview that got cut out. And she mentions that in the book.
Yeah.
Which is, that I was shook by that. But yeah, she said that meeting Justin and Julia sort of invigorated her creatively. And she started to feel the spark again a little bit. And she asked her boys to name the album. And you could tell. Now that
you really could tell.
Now that we've got like the unreleased Glory cover in chains,
breaking out of the house,
it's it was screaming at us from afar for years. But it's good to know that what we knew that there was some sort of spark happening during Glory.
Yeah, you could see it the entire year.
Yeah,
in London, you could hear it in her voice in the radio interviews. You could see it on stage.
Yes.
The fire in her eyes, the stands we always say.
Yes. Of course, she wanted No Seas Cortez in the Vegas show. She couldn't get it for a while.
Which,
taste. But yeah, it sounded like she had to put up a lot of fights to change Vegas in any way that she knew that would be good, and get naked into the show because... And the thing is, like, all of her changes that she wanted to make are like fan favorites, and they're like moments that would have made the show better. You can almost feel them be like, stick to the standards, stick to the whatever we're
not changing this production,
right? And she knew.
Know what else was on my mind? The Glory, and how she was talking about how they wouldn't let her make changes at all, and that infuriated her. Mm-hmm. And that's a lot of the anger. The Jamie Lynn remixes, and a lot of this anger is like not letting her essentially be creative. Mm-hmm. And if you think back to 2016, the performances that she ate the fuck up were all entirely different.
Yeah.
Make Me at the VMAs, the BBMAs medley, that 30-minute, which I still justice for that fucking iHeartRadio.
Yeah.
That was better then a Super Bowl performance.
Mhm.
It was 30 minutes. She did not break through it. It was all new choreo, all new routines.
Yeah.
She was on fire. You could tell, like, it confirmed exactly what she was writing about in the book. Like, if you just let me be creative and do new things
Mhm.
and deliver new things for my fans, that's what I want.
Yeah.
And that year proved it.
Yeah. It's hard, and it makes a lot of fans feel complex feelings about supporting anything, especially from 2008 onward, and how unhappy she was when she was putting out those products. I'm just really glad that she was able to speak on her own terms about this and put it all out there about how much was restricted, the settings on the phone and everything, just all of that, parental settings and all of that, and calling out people in the circle that we would know would follow her, like Robin, and to know her true feelings on those people.
Yeah.
Very illuminating.
It's like all the people you just like see around, but you like didn't know anything.
Yes.
Everything was all very elusive.
Very elusive. And it truly didn't ever feel like that for another pop star to this degree.
No.
We were always very uncomfy about it. It makes a lot of sense. I think there's a lot of things that aren't said in the book that are equally as telling, and I don't know where everything stands. One of the big things people are pointing out, there is no mention of Sam Lutfi. And my thought, and I don't know if it's true, is because of the restraining order. I don't know if she even can, or maybe just wants to, because I know there was a restraining order in place at one point, or it continues to be. But then she also references Adnan, the photographer, as only the photographer, but we know who she's talking about during that era. That era is very broad in some ways when she's talking about that romance and not mentioning him at all.
I almost think it's kind of badass that she doesn't even give them
That could be another reason.
It's like, in a way, by just being like, that photographer, that man. It's very like, it's saying a lot without actually naming the name.
Yeah. So
I thought it was badass that she didn't even give them
Yeah.
Because then think of all the headlines. If they would have been like, oh, all the people name dropped, it would have given them all this press.
True.
And like, by just saying, oh, the photographer, let people wonder.
Maybe it was intentional not to lift their names up any further. I know that people were chomping at the bit to have something about Christina in this book. And Jimmy Kimmel was asking, and everyone was like thirsty for like deep draggings. No. The one story that people are pointing to about her being quote unquote a mess in LA at one time, they were like swimming together with the dancers.
We were out with the dancers. I saw Christina. She seemed messed up.
Yeah. To me, that was really relaying that everyone was able to have fun with whatever substances without her.
Yeah. I didn't look at it as shade. I thought of it like, oh, we're out, we're celebrating. Everyone else gets to indulge however they choose to, but I can't.
Mm-hmm. Don't get me wrong. I think she was feeling a certain way during Stripped and the tour.
They went back and forth in interviews and TRL and things like that.
But I think it says a lot that it's not rehashed like fans do now.
Yeah.
Like if she had those feelings, I'm sure it would have come across. In general, she shows a lot of grace truly to everyone in this book. Even, the biggest...
Even like the apologizing to the people who helped her do the marble floors when she was like, I was just so mean then. Like I was pregnant and stressed. And I'm sorry to the people who helped me do the marble in my house. Was like, oh, like,
I get it. But, for all the anger that Justin's currently receiving online, and I did predict the thrashings because of the way he was doing promo lately, I found it obviously very interesting. I think of the family, Brian seems to have maybe the most leeway. I don't know how to describe it, but she doesn't seem to hate Brian.
No.
She's definitely come for Jamie Lynn quite a bit in the book. But even at the end, she's like, I love my sister. And one day, maybe, that's still my sister, quote unquote. She's obviously, written off the father and the mother to a certain degree. But I think there's maybe a door open probably for Brian based on the book. But for the most part, I think that bridge is deservedly burned, and we'll see what comes of it legally or just in how she operates moving forward. I don't know. The ending was a little unsettlingly like open-ended because it was so close to the end of the conservatorship. again, would wish for that 5 or 10 years to be like, and then I thrived by doing XYZ and, went to teach kids and found my passion for the spark for dance and art and went on to do this or whatever. It's that kind of thing that you kind of get from a lot of the memoirs that isn't in this, which is unique, of like what happened after the big horrible thing, kind of. It's just so fresh.
I really did love that she talked about like feeling connected to God through creativity. That is something that I really connect with her on, when she's like, I feel most connected to heaven when I am like singing, which is like your creativity. And so I hope that, yeah, she's able to have time to play. Like the hairdresser told her, like, you need time to play and be creative and just express yourself. And
totally.
Yeah, it's a hopeful ending.
And I actually really appreciated the Hold Me Closer part, because it did sound like she genuinely felt something from that. She was starstruck by Mariah, by Madonna, by Elton. She is a fan of legends, and she was honored to do the Elton song, and it sounds like that was a little tick of confidence for her, at least. So I'm glad that she liked it, because it did feel like a little boost for her. But yeah, the rest is still unwritten.
Yeah. I think in closing, I could say that overall, I feel like the biggest takeaway is that she loves her kids.
Oh, yeah.
From this book. Like, leaving the end kind of like, well, this is open-ended. Where are we going from here? I feel like my hope is that they will realize that she loves her kids with everything, and she endured a lot because she loves them. So I hope that there's a reconciliation that can happen there.
Yeah, I got emotional a few times, but the first time was in the actual first seconds of the book, when she herself in her own voice says, dedicated to my boys, I love you, to something to that effect. And I just teared up, because it's knowing the state of things currently. That's just so heartbreaking. And truly that is the theme of this book underneath it all. Like, she loves those boys.
Yeah, like, I did this for my kids.
Yeah.
I agreed to this because I love my boys.
Yeah.
I suffered from this because I love my kids. So
yeah, I hope for that too. I hope there's a reconciliation after the dust settles from this.
Yeah, it needs time.
Yeah,
but
if nothing else, to hear from her perspective themselves.
Yeah,
that's a rough scenario. Yeah, I guess those are our main takeaways from the book. We're still processing. We did only read it a few days ago, but
yeah, I feel like I have different revelations.
I'm
like
still
the 2016 revelation hit me the other day when I was on a YouTube, as I'm sure most of you do the same thing.
Yeah,
rewatching the Billboard Music Awards medley, and then I went on a spiral, and I was like, this is what she talked about in the book. She wanted to do new shit, and I'm like, wait. So I'm like going through. So yeah, still having revelations every day. But also, if you are curious, pun intended, I thought the audiobook was very well done. I've actually...
as for Michelle herself?
I did not want to do it because I was like, it's not Britney. I don't want to listen to it.
Yeah.
But it was very well done. I actually, in certain moments, felt like I was listening to Britney talk. There was like something in the way that she delivered this audiobook.
Oh, yeah.
That felt not like an impersonation, but there was an inflection in certain words that she nailed. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I really liked it. It was a good listen. So.
Definitely. Yeah, she's a student of, she's a studied actress and award-winning actress. Of course, she watched interviews and stuff beforehand and sort of took on the spirit, I'm sure. Yeah, I agree. I also did listen to it at like 1.5.
Yeah, it was 1.5.
Yeah.
But
I thought she did a good job as well. It's already, I guess, the best-selling celebrity memoir in history.
Well, this is a place for legends.
And, we'll see. I guess numbers will come soon, but I'm sure it's outselling, outcharting everything ever before. And I hope that's good news for her. And the more people know the story, the better, because at the end of the day, there was a lot assumed about her that the casual person just didn't know. Again, for fans, it's like a little different because we knew what led to the 2007 events to a certain degree and stuff. But then there's a lot of revelations that nobody could know about her various ways she was trying to get out over the years, or just the ways that she was more controlled than we ever knew. It's quite the tale and quite the it's an extremely unique life story, and hopefully will be something that people can have as a frame of reference to know about abuse of the courts and abuse of systems that are in place to help people, which is also what she said when she got out of it, is that she hopes her story can help other people who might be in similar situations. So
always trying to help everybody else.
Yeah, it is her blessing and her curse for being in an industry that is certainly not kind-hearted. And all I can really hope is that kind-hearted people, and I've said that for years, are around her.
She's also an empath, I feel.
Yeah.
Is another thing I took away from this.
Yep. And that she can continue to flourish on her own terms in her own time. And I also am glad that she did say, just to calm the expectations, that music is not what's really speaking to her right now. Basically, she was like, B10 is not around the corner.
Yeah. And I actually like that.
Me too.
I'm not saying that I would not take another Britney album, because I do think there's like something really cool she could do with her story and like turn it into art. But reading the book, the way that, I mean, especially in Vegas, they were like, no, you're doing this Vegas show. This is what it looks like. It's a package deal. You're not getting out of this. You're not allowed to change it up. You're not allowed to do anything different. That also sets context for like the Instagram videos where she's like, oh, I tried making a dress. And the general, like, people, locals in her comments were like, and it's so, like, fucking making fun of her, like little fucking rats that they are. Mm-hmm. Anyway, this is like the first time it seems like she's been able to try new creative ventures outside of making songs. And so I love that she's able to like now take time to do whatever the fuck she wants.
Yeah. Like
for somebody to give her grace. Like she wants to paint. She wants to be a fashion designer. She wants to make like do whatever. Like,
and it is funny because, and she didn't talk about this in the book. Again, I could name a million things I wish. This is what was happening right before the conservatorship. When she got pregnant and she started talking about a children's baby line, and she started doing Original Doll, and she started getting into, I don't know, just different ventures of any kind, is when they sort of started reeling her in effectively as she sort of expanded and wanted to become more and more hands-on and creative. So that is interesting.
She did seem to really love Brintimates too.
Oh, right. Brintimates. We did not get any Brintimates in the book.
No, but I felt like at that time she was really, she seemed to really be into that.
Yeah. The more you really think about it as a fan, you're like, oh God.
The perfumes, like.
There's so much to be said.
I have 2 million questions.
Yeah, I have only more questions.
However, I did enjoy this book.
Yeah, for sure.
It did not, I will say I was surprised by it. I think my expectations as a stan going into it were wrong. And yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, clearly the top of mind and obviously the most important thing was talking about the conservatorship. And that's, of course, that was fresh on mine.
And now she can move forward, as she said in the book.
Yeah. So there you have it.
Wow.
The Woman in Me, available now, not sponsored.
No, but it is on Audible for 1 credit.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. And you can do the free thing, right?
I'm not sure of that, but
okay.
I had credits on Audible.
Oh, very nice.
Wow.
Well,
we're curious what you think. So I mean, everyone's been talking in the Discord channels as well.
That's true.
Which has been cool to read because it's like everyone's kind of pulling different thoughts or like pulling the visual references of all the stuff she's talked about, which has been really cool to like, this is that interview. This is the Mariah photo. Mm-hmm. Kind of going back and yeah. Well, if you'd like to join us on our Discord, there's a ton of conversation happening on there. You can comment on the Patreon as well. And and we'll have a live chat again in November. Yeah. Well, thank you for joining us for this mini book club session, extended episode. And if you're also on Patreon, we will have the after show after this that you can listen to as well. I'm definitely going to do Julia Fox's audiobook after this. Nice. I'm like, look at that. I'm going to start reading books and watching movies. And now, if you girls haven't, and if you didn't follow us, definitely get into Mariah's book. Oh, yes. The Meaning of Mariah. Yes. Fantastic. Yes. That is an art piece as well. We do. The book club is on our Patreon as well. We have a 4-part review. Yes. But yeah. Well, we hope that you all have a good Halloween this week. Yes. Happy November. Happy, safe, sexy, fun Halloween. Yeah. Or if you're just staying at home, I so support you too. Halloween is the one day of the year that a girl can dress like a total slut. And it's Halloween every day in my year. Yeah. All right, everybody. See you in the after show, or see you when I come down your chimneys on November 3rd.
Lock
New
your
single.
doors.
I think I'm gonna do a TikTok live and just like talk to people.
There you go.
Yeah, the 3 listeners.
I love it.
All right, everyone. Until next time,
We will
see you
soon.